Alright, we'll wait till we load in. Alright everyone, welcome to Game 1, I believe it's Game 1, between the Drunken Probe and Bubbachuck. This is a game for the Reddit Dota 2 League, and my name is IMABEAR, and I will be casting. I do believe this is only best of one, so that's what I think the format has been decided for this league. And from what I know, this is an actual tournament play game, so we should see some interesting stuff. Typical bans coming out right from the start. Keeper and Nyx are great heroes to get out of play. You never really want to have to deal with them. So, Nyx as well, another great ban. His carry potential, in current play is off the charts, especially since he basically has a free BKB built in. Magnus, another great ban. That ult goes through BKBs. It's almost unstoppable. So, let's see who the first pickup for the Drunken Probe is. And, I don't know who it'll be. I'm not quite sure. There's a couple of great offlaners. Speaking of offlaners, they pick up a Darkseer. So, generally if he makes it past the first ban stage, he's picked up automatically by the team who has first pick. It's just something I've noticed from watching a lot of these games. So, now we can see who the next round of picks are going to be. First pickup's going to be Batrider. Great mid potential. Also, great offlane potential. Not to mention his ultimate. From what I remember, it does go through BKB. But yeah, he has such great harass potential from a sticking napalm. And that slow on that can be really helpful in picking up a first blood in game. So we're currently in reserve time for Bubbachuck's team. So let's see who their second pickup's going to be. And it's a Warlock. Really great pickup on the part of Bubbachuck's team. I think I'm just going to start calling them Bubbachuck because they don't have their team thing up at the moment. But yeah, Warlock, great overall pickup. Fatal Bonds can transfer a lot of damage between heroes. That heal for him, and also in turn, that take damage for the enemies is always helpful in lane. And finally, his ultimate, especially with the basically free radiance damage that his golems do, is just so deadly in the middle of a team fight and afterwards in chasing down the those last few heroes that are just kind of straggling. So we'll see who the next pickup's gonna be from the Drunken Probe. They're probably gonna start picking up supports for their whatever their laning situations be. If it's a Darkseer that's gonna be going top lane, on the off lane, we're gonna see probably some sort of tri lane come out from the Drunken Probe. One good hero for tri-lane's unfortunately already been taken, and that's Warlock. But there's still a lot of great heroes. For example, it looks like Phantom Lancer is actually going to be their carry, and I don't see Rubik could go mid, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna put him. I don't know. It seems like they would put him bottom with the Phantom Lancer. We'll have to see how that turns out. I'm not really sure yet. So, see who the next pickup is for Dire. And it's a Shadow Demon. So we'll probably definitely see Warlock and Shadow Demon go into a tri-lane top. And I think the Batrider will be going mid. So Yeah, the Drunken Probes is making a great ban in the Gyrocopter. He would be a really big combo with Warlock in a team fight with his call down. And on top of that chaotic offering, it does a lot of damage if the both of them can overlay those correctly. And not to mention, obviously, Bubachuk doesn't have a carry yet. So the Drunken Probe's probably going to be looking through and saying, who are the carries we don't want to play against? And those are going to be the ones that they're banning out. I'm about to go into reserve time for Bubachuk. What it looks like Drunken Probe really needs right now is at least one really good support hero to support that Phantom Lancer. So we might see those kind of bans come out from Bubachuk. Not sure. So about 45 seconds left. Lena. So I mean, Lena is good in a tri lane. She also can handle mid. Drunken Probe bans out Luna, another great carry ban. Like I said, we're kind of just seeing them go through the carries that they don't really want to play against. Looks like it looks like Bubachuk's actually going after mid heroes. I mean, Lena's not the she's not the not that she's not a good mid hero, but she's not a typical mid hero. So but yeah, Queen of Pain, great mid hero, great ganking potential, great escape potential if she gets into any like carry situation. So that was a good ban on the part of Bubachuk. Drunken Probe's final ban, by the way, was a tiny, so not necessarily a carry, though he can be turned into one. I mean, hell, give Tiny a Mask of Madness after he's fully leveled and has his Augs. It can get bad if he's tanky enough. So, I mean, good ban. Not necessarily what I was expecting, but they did ban out 3 of the biggest carries in the metagame right now. So, and the final ban from Bubachuk is Night Stalker, another great mid. His ganking potential at night is almost unrivaled. So it was a good ban for Bubachuk to take out if they were going with that mid kind of mentality, like they seemed like they were. So let's see who Drunken Probe's going to pick up to support that Phantom Lancer, because I think we'll be seeing that next.
10 seconds remaining.
One thing I'm going to be interested watching is who Batrider's going to be midding against, just because it's going to be a pretty difficult mid. Batrider's always kind of hard to mid against, and I don't know who they're really going to put up against him necessarily. I mean, Queen of Pain's already gone, obviously, so that burst damage isn't there. That could really hurt Batrider early. I don't know. I mean, maybe. No, I don't know. We'll just have to see. We're about 15 seconds into reserve time. For 15 seconds left for reserve time for Drunken Probe. Now 10 seconds. And that's a Jakiro pickup. Sorry for the jump there. But yeah, Jakiro pickup for the Drunken Probe. As I was saying, the Phantom Lancer needs a support, and Jakiro is going to be a great support in lane for him. So we can definitely expect to see those two in a tri lane on Radiant's bottom lane. So I have a feeling. Yeah, with that Batrider, I don't think the Rubik would be going mid, so we're probably going to see a mid picked up last for the Drunken Probe. They picked their carry kind of early, which generally you save that until second or last pick, just because you don't want to really give away your strategy there. But with the Phantom Lancer, it's pretty hard to counter him as it is. So, I mean, it's definitely doable, it's definitely possible, but it has to be done in the early to mid game. So, the way that Bubachuk's been building anyways is definitely building for an early to mid game. And with that Tidehunter, we actually see even more clearly that they're going for a team fight. Drunken Probe actually picks up a silencer, so like I was saying, Rubik's not going to be going mid. It's going to be a silencer mid against the Bat Rider. Probably a Phantom Lancer Jakiro Rubik tri-lane with the Darkseer taking over the off lane. I'm feeling Warlock and Shadow Demon are going to be going into a tri-lane with whoever the carry that Bubba Chuck picks up next. But the problem I'm having is that that leaves Tidehunter in off lane, and I mean maybe it's a weird lane setup. Maybe they just want Tidehunter to get the solo levels. Maybe he's not going to be getting farm. I don't know. It's a really weird setup, but it can work. And they have a Kunkka, so Kunkka can definitely dish out a lot of damage mid game. So what we probably can expect to see from Bubba Chuck is their team's going to be trying to win this in the mid game, and the Drunken Pro is almost definitely going to be trying to drag this game out, try to get the farm up on their Phantom Lancer, and try to really, oh my goodness, why is this set up like this? I need free camera, please. Alright, but yeah, the Drunken Probe's going to try and get that farm on that Phantom Lancer. So, very quickly, we have Kunkka being played by Fat Ronaldo, Ojoy playing Warlock, Typhurious Rex playing Tidehunter, Bubba Chuck on the Bat Rider, and Crit Whale playing the Shadow Demon. And then we have Doyle Points playing Jakiro, Darkseer being played by Parisian Gefilt Fish. You're just being called Fish, by the way. Kodiak is on the Rubik. Coffee is playing Silencer, and Sergeant Slippy is playing the Phantom Lancer. Really quickly, I need to adjust something, so we're gonna take our eyes off the game for just a second, just to make it a little nicer for you guys. So yeah, it looks like the Radiant at the moment is kind of just scouting out. I think they're making sure that their pull camps don't get blocked. Yeah, they're all together in the group. They don't want to risk anyone getting picked off, especially if Bubba Chuck's team had decided to try and get a gank in there. That could have gone badly if they were alone. So, I mean, it was a good plan. Everyone's just placing a little bit of wards. But yeah, it looks like the lane setup is going to be Kunkka being supported by the Shadow Demon and the Warlock top, with Tidehunter in off lane, and the Bat Rider in mid, and then Silencer in mid with the Darkseer going top lane, and Rubik and Jakiro supporting the Phantom Lancer. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting early game. I think there's just gonna be a lot more farm than anything. I don't expect to see too much action. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Just looking at some of the pickups, I mean, Quelling Blades on both the carries, good farming items. Warlock looks like he's probably going to go either Tranquils or some sort of Basilius Ring for his lane. It looks like Shadow Demon's on permanent stacking duty, and he's also on de-warding duty, so he's got some sentry wards there. Or he might be trying to block camps on the Radiant side at some point, so we'll have to see if we see that. Yeah, Darkseer's going to have somewhat of a hard time trading blows with the Kunkka right now, especially because of that, there's a pause that comes out. Because of that Tidebringer, there is going to be some issue for them kind of trading blows at the moment, because, well, Darkseer can't, like, he has, I do believe that his auto attack, yeah, it's a couple damage higher than the Kunkka's is, but when that Tidebringer comes out, it hits hard. I mean, if you just see, the damage bonus is 15 more damage at this point, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in lane at this point, and the Darkseer only has 625 base health, that is going to hit a little harder, and it's going to make him have to try to stay back a little bit, which could force him to be out of experience range. However, that Ion Shell is going to be really invaluable for him in lane and help him get a lot of farm. So, well, a lot of farm, relatively. Like, considering the situation, it'll give him a decent enough a decent enough amount of farm, probably to get his soul ring. So let's just take a look at the bottom lane really quick. We actually see some smoke up on Rubik, which means we're probably going to see the supports trying to pull some sort of gank at some point. Jakiro's just got wards in general regen, which makes sense. And as I said, Phantom's has already got his quelling blade. Yeah, we've got just a soft shield on Tidebringer or Tidehunter. Wow, sorry. Oh, it looked like something was happening top. So yeah, just a little bit of harassment going on mid between Coffee and Bubachuk. Though both are very on par with one another at the point. 7-7 for their for their last hits. And Coffee actually has his bottle already, and he also has a magic stick, which is a great pickup. If you can't see, if you can see right now, he's already got 10 charges on that, and you know and that is from the constant use of the sticky napalm. He picks up a double damage. So he's got so much regen right now, it's going to be really hard to harass him out of lane with that bottle, the tangos, and his 10 magic stick charges. So Darkseer's being a little risky up here. He is popping iron shells on the Dyer's pole camp, which is good because it will weaken the pardon me. Oh my goodness. It will weaken these jungle creeps, and it also might pop him some farm, which, as we see, it is getting him a slight amount of farm there, which is a little funny actually to watch, because these supports are definitely mad, as we can see by Warlock popping his heal. What is that called again? That's Shadow Word. Yeah, I always want to call it Last Word because of Silencer, but clearly it's not. But yeah, those supports are just going to be trying to harass the Darkseer back and keep him from pulling stunts like that again, because they're going to need as much farm as they can get, especially if they're going to let the Kunkka come online a little earlier because of farm. So, yeah. Yeah, Byrider has his bottle now too, but if he wants to keep any charges on this, especially, he might be able to get a rune now. There is an invis top, but neither teams have vision of it, so there's no way for them to actually tell if it's there. Though they are actually doing a run for it. I wonder who's going to get it. We do see a Last Word and a Curse of the Silent come out on the Batrider, but he does invis and get away. He's silenced right now, but he is using that that rune to keep the double damaged Silencer from hitting. So the Silencer is most likely just going to go back mid. Just get some more last hits while Batrider regens. Does Last Word him though, and gets a decent chunk. That Last Word is so deadly now after it's, it was a while ago that it was buffed, but it got completely reworked, and look at that. Level 3 already, Silencer has it at, and it does 250 damage. It's a nuke. It's a single target nuke, and if you can place it well, it always works really well at harassing, especially in the early game, which obviously we still are in. Take a quick look at last hits denies. Both Phantomlancer and Kunkka are on par with one another right now, so they're both tied with last hits. And the mids, actually, Silencer is slightly ahead of the Batrider, so it's probably just because he has all of that regen with him. He hasn't even touched his magic stick yet, so it looks like Darkseer might have been in a bit of an issue here, but it doesn't look like it anymore, so. Oh wow, Radiant supports are actually mid right now. It looks like they're going top, or no, they're going to try and do something against the Batrider mid. They might be looking for a first blood at this point, but they're not going to find it because Batrider is checking for this rune, and there's a double damage here. That was a great flame break. We also see a lasso out on the Silencer, and it traps him on the cliff. Last Word does come out on, pardon me, not Last Word, Curse of the Silent comes out on the Batrider, but it doesn't do anything right now. Jakiro tries to stun the Batrider, but he's able to just kind of get away. Oh, it looks like Silencer ate his way through the trees. He did still have those tangos, I believe. Oh, a bit of an engagement here. It looks like the Rubik's going to go down. The first blood does go to the way of the Batrider. So what might have been a gank in favor of TDP actually turned around, and of all people, the one who was getting targeted was the one that got the first blood. So, I mean, good job on him. And that gave him a lot of gold. I'm wondering what we're going to see in regards to boots come out on him. I'm sure we're going to see a blink dagger come out on him next. He might try to rush it even, so. Oh, we have a rushed. I didn't even see any of that come up, but we have a rushed Hand of Midas coming out on Sergeant Slippy, so his gold intake is about to skyrocket. Which, I mean, Radiance already has the gold lead, so it'll get even larger at this point. Dire, though, does have an XP lead, and I'm sure that's because of that first blood. So, yeah, Darkseer's just trying to maintain trying to get some farm as much as he can. Yeah, and Radiant's actually pushing this tower a lot. It's already under half health, so. Wow, the Darkseer getting so low here. Fatal Bonds might have been able to take him out. Was there anything else Fatal Bonded? No. If he hadn't... Oh, wow. If there had been one more creep Fatal Bonded, Darkseer would have gone down there. That's crazy. Oh. Good on him, though, for surging out of there. That's really probably one of the reasons he's alive. Not to mention the fact that, you know, Last Word didn't... Or, pardon me, Fatal Bonds didn't catch anyone else. Looks like the Bat Rider's looking for some sort of a gank mid, and he might find it in the Jakiro, but he does get Ice Path, and I mean, he might be able to get it. That's the problem. Though, we do see them, we do see, oh, here comes Sergeant Slippy. This might have actually been a mistake for the Bat Rider. I think he might actually go down, but no, oh, that Firefly, and we do see an actual, we did see an ultimate come out from the Tidehunter, and it takes out the Jakiro. Last Word come out from Silencer, a little bit of right clicking from Sergeant Slippy and Kodiak, but they couldn't stop the Tidehunter from getting away. That was another great engagement on the part of Bubba Chuck's team. That, I mean, I could have sworn that Bat Rider was gonna die, but he made it out of there literally by the skin of his teeth. Like, he had all of, what, I think he had all of like 100 health left. And, oh. I mean, that was a great use of Firefly there. Because he flew right over these cliffs. Right, I mean, he was, what, right here? He flew over, and this just kind of was like, I'm out. Like, I don't want to handle this right now. So, another great engagement on the part of Bubba Chuck. I mean, he definitely turned it around, and the Tidehunter, using his ult to grab off that one kill, definitely also helped to turn the engagement in their favor. TP out from Warlock, bottom. It looks like he has his golem, but he doesn't have the mana for it right now, so we might see him save his mana for that. I don't know if there's any mana boots down here right now. There is a pair on Tidehunter, and they are off cooldown, so we can almost expect to see that golem come out right now. Yeah, now he has the mana, so I'm curious to see what they're going to try and do. There's some preemptive dust right there, and we're also going to see an ult come out from the Warlock. Silence come out from the Silencer, but it can't do anything because Phantom Lancer's already dead. That Golem is luckily taken down really quickly, though, but the supports here are taking a lot of damage. Wow. That was some great initiation on the part of Bubba Chuck. I mean, he was able to grab that, he was able to get that lasso so quickly, and then Warlock, seeing that lasso and seeing that the Phantom Lancer was right in the middle of that Firefly fire, he just ulted right on top of it. So he was not only taking damage from the Firefly fire, but he was also taking it from the Warlock, from the Chaotic Offering, and then when the stun came out, when Sergeant Slippy came out of the stun, he was taking damage from the Golem that had just been dropped. So there was almost no way he could have stood up against that. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to open that. But Yeah, just taking a quick look at, let's do, not current gold, I want net worth, darn it. Net worth. I mean, despite that gank though, Phantom Lancer's keeping up on his farm, and he's definitely going to be going for a Diffusal Blade. Also, apparently a pickup happening in favor of the Silencer, so good job there. And he picks up a regen rune for his bottle, so yeah, I missed that there. But yeah, the Phantom Lancer is still keeping up in the farm. I mean, he's 500 net or gold ahead of the Kunkka in net worth, and the Kunkka hasn't really been bothered. I'm trying to see if he has had one death, but I mean, so has the Phantom Lancer. So they both have the exact same score right now. So it's coming down to farm. And wow, I missed another pick off top from the Darkseer, but seeing that there was a Shadow Demon and a Tide Hunter there, it's not to be unexpected. That's definitely a understandable pickoff. But yeah, we might see this top tower fall, but we also might see this bottom tower fall as well. They're probably going to wait for that creep wave to come, and it looks like it's just going to be a race for the tower at the moment. Both teams probably just want to trade at this point. Radiant does get us Fortify. Just some farming. Oh, we see a lot of TPs coming out on top. So Silence comes out from the Silencer, and a boat also comes out from the Kunkka. And finally, there's an ult coming from the Tide Hunter. I don't know why that happened. It looks like he's still silenced, but I guess he's not. A wall comes out from the Darkseer, but it's no use because he can't vacuum them into it. He vacuums one into it, but nothing he can do. Tide Hunter goes down to the Silencer, thankfully. But, oh, and a great stun from the Shadow Demon takes out that. Pardon me, takes... Oh my gosh, the great stun from the Jakiro takes out the Shadow Demon. And I guess bottom two, there was also another gank. It looks like there was a golem dropped on top of the Phantom Lancer. So, wow. A lot of action just happened right there. And honestly, I think it looks like it was pretty even, to be honest. Yeah. And surprisingly, when I thought that Drunken Probe was going to get that bottom tower, they actually don't. They actually get their bottom tower taken. Though, luckily they were able to at least stop Bubachuk's team from getting the top tower as well. Though, you have to wonder if it was right cost. So, here right now, just some general lane switching. I mean, it's a good idea to keep this Phantom Lancer farming at the moment. He's getting really close to his Diffusal Blade at the moment, which is going to help immensely with that mana burn. So, and right now it looks like Dire is going to be trying to push in this mid. We have an Invis battery just sitting here, and it's an Invis rune too, so it's not smoke or anything. And he's probably just waiting. He's waiting for someone to come in range of that lasso. And he does wait, and he grabs the Silencer. And while there is a stun from the Jakiro, Silencer may not be able to make it away. He's definitely going to be taken down by the last right click from the Batrider. So, yeah, it's just you look at if you see the Batrider, the range on that lasso is so small. So if he can get an Invis rune like that, and he can just sit there and wait, just lasso right away. You don't need a blink dagger. They just came right to you. And it was a perfect setup, honestly, in that mid for a gank like that. So, looks like there is some action top. And the Darkseer does get gushed and Tidebringered by the Kunkka, but he's able to get away because of his surge. And some great split pushing. Well, not technically split pushing at the moment, but some great pushing going on from the Phantom Lancer. So I think, though, unfortunately, Bubachuk is going to find him. There's a Shadow Lance that comes out from the Phantom Lancer. Oh, and the Warlock ult, perfect, cancels the TP and gives another kill on the Phantom Lancer to the Way of Batrider. Let's take a look at the kills and deaths. Batrider has not died once. He has 5, 0, and 1, and I'm almost sure that he's been involved in all 3 of the kills against Radiant's carry. So, flubbed stun coming out from the Jakiro. I don't know, we might see the Rubik pick up a kill. No. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not level 6 yet. He really needs to rush that so he can get to his spell steal, because I believe he's been around at least 1 or 2 times when the chaotic offering has been used by the warlock. And if anything, right now there are 2 spells that need to be stolen from the Dire, and that's Tidehunter's ultimate and Warlock's chaotic offering ultimate. And if they don't use those, they I mean, if he doesn't get those he's kind of gimping the team fight on the side of the Drunken Probe, because it almost looks like that's kind of what they were expecting, is some sort of steal on the part of the Rubik from one of those characters. So he's just going to have to try and find some way to get the experience. Oh, we're actually seeing another pick off mid on the silencer by Bubba Chuck, and he's just going to go down again. That Bad Rider is just doing so well with his lasso, and he's just doing a great job at picking off people when they do overextend a little too much. So yeah, and what I'm seeing too is Silencer is dropping his silence when he's already in a point that it's not going to help him. If you're already lassoed, if you're already getting fireflied and you're standing in the fire, if Warlock's already used all of his abilities, using your silence isn't going to stop any of the damage that's happening to you. So, oh, we see actually another gush come out on the Darkseer, and we are seeing some harass coming out from the Bubba Chuck as well, but I do believe that Surge is going to get the Darkseer away. Yeah, that Flame Break just didn't do the damage that they were expecting it to, I think. And I think that Radiant's middle tower is going to go down. And it does. No last hit to any of the heroes, but definitely. Wow, look at this. All these defensive TPs coming out. That Phantom is split pushing like a pro. While his whole team is responding mid, the Phantom is just pushing top. Wow. He pushed through a whole tier 2. Because I don't think that tier 2, it might have been down already. I feel like I mean, I should know that, but I feel bad now. But anyways, yeah. Honestly, that's something that Dire's really going to have to work on, trying to, they're going to have to keep an eye on him now, because it's going to be hard. I mean, we did see that dust come out from the Dire, but, yeah. Whew. Kuka's just farming up the Ancients, so. Yeah, and Phantom Lancer's shifted top, so he's definitely going to, it looks like this is what he's going to do. He's just going to farm and he's going to split push, which is honestly what he should be doing right now. Let his team deal with the team fights, and, you know, let the Phantom Lancer get the farm and the towers, so. It looks like the Shadow Demon's going for some sort of mech, or pardon me, not for some sort of, for a mech. And Bad Rider does have his Blink Dagger. Also, what I saw earlier, Phantom Lancer does have his Diffusal Blade, and he just picked up a Yasha as well. So we're actually going to see a Manta style come out from him, which is a... Yeah. Manta's an interesting pickup on the Phantom Lancer. I don't know. Never really seen it before, but actually a silence comes out from the silencer. It looks like there's some initiation down on Bubba Chuck in the jungle, and they are actually keeping him from. But there is a golem that comes out and a ravage. Oh my goodness! That the anchor smash takes him down, and then oh my goodness, triple kill the way of the warlock. Some great initiation on the part of those two. I do believe it was the last bonds and maybe a Shadow Word that just really drove that home. Oh my goodness. Only Rubik made it out alive, and I'm interested to see if I don't even know if he was there. He didn't even get a steal. two great teamfight ultimates got used mid, or pardon me, got used top, and wow, and I just missed it. But the Kunkka went and picked off the Rubik there. Whew, yeah, two great ultimates get used top, and I don't know if the Rubik was even there to steal them. Gush coming out on the Darkseer, and also a disruption, but since he is surged, I don't believe that he's going to get hurt. Ice Path comes out as well. Could it be true that the Dire have stuck around too long? Definitely Shadow Demon did, because he goes down, and we might actually see the Tidehunter go down as well. This Phantom Lancer is just doing a lot of damage right now, even with that that problem, and that Shadowlance is going, or Spirit Lance. Well, I've been calling it Shadowlance, haven't I? Sorry. That Spirit Lance is what does the final, or does the Tidehunter in. So yeah, I mean, that's something that I think Drunken Probe does have on their side, is it seems like the Dire tends to stick around too long after they've won a team fight, because they are really reliant on those team fight ultimates. The Dire is. So if those aren't around, it's going to be hard. Oh, we do see a boat coming out from the Kunkka, only catches the Darkseer. Some preemptive dust coming out on the part of the Dire. A stolen boat going out onto the Dire. Doesn't really hit anyone, though. No one's gone down yet, but the Rubik and the Phantom Lancer are pretty low, so it looks like the Dire's just going to back off. Or pardon me, the Radiant's just going to back off. It looks like the Dire are looking, they're searching for someone, but they're not going to find them. Radiant's gone. Rubik at 50 health. Oh. Yeah, he's limping. But that was definitely from that that great Fatal Bonds on the part of the Warlock. I think we might actually see a Roche attempt from Kunkka. No, never mind. He's just going to Ancients. Not stacked, but okay, I guess he's not going to Ancients. He's going to the lane. Yeah. With that, again, there's the Phantom Lancer. He looked like he was split pushing that bottom lane, so we might actually be preparing for some sort of Roche. Oh wow, a pickoff on the Jakiro right now. I don't know if they're going to take him down though, and it looks like that they, especially because of that silence, it was easy. Ice Path, I don't think that was an initiation Ice Path. I think that was a, you need to get away right now. Kind of a sign to the Dire saying, there might be more people here. So if you walk in, you're dead. But yeah. I mean, Dire they can sit really pretty right now and kind of not have to worry, because both of their big teamfight ultimates are up. And it also looks like that the Warlock is actually going for a an Oggs, which not necessarily what I would pick up on him. I'd probably pick up a Refresher, especially he does have a large enough mana pool, in my opinion, to support it. So, but I mean, Oggs is still going to be great. It's a little more damage, and the double golem is always good for pushing. Also, Tidehunter, it looks like he's going to be building a pipe. Oh no, disruption on the Darkseer. It looks like he's going to get picked off. Oh my goodness, that Rubik just melted at the Chaotic Offering and the Ravage. And this Darkseer is also going to go down as well, thanks to the ultimate coming out from the Shadow Demon and the right click damage and Firefly damage. I think there was a Flame Break there as well coming out from Bubba Chuck. So that's a 2-hero pickoff, and it also might be a tower mid. So as we can see, TDB Coffee was actually picking off top, doing some damage there, and he cursed Curse of the Silence, the Dire team, but it doesn't look like they want to back off. There was a Force Staff in on the oh wow, that Tidebringer picked off that Jakiro. Is it doing that much damage now? Wow. Oh yeah, I mean he does have a Crystalist, so that makes sense. Wow, there's a last word on the Kunkka. He's silenced now. He might be picked off. No, Shadowblade saves him. And bottom tower actually is being attacked by the Radiant creeps. Bubba Chuck actually responds to try to get rid of them at the moment. But yeah, there's a big kill gap. Well, not, I mean, it's not terribly big, but it is an 11 kill gap at the moment in favor of the Dire. But at this point, if, as we've seen kind of happening, there's a little bit of a split push coming out from the Phantom Lancer, and there's also there's a lot happening. It just in general, like while TDP is losing team fights, they're also exploiting the fact that the Dire is sticking around a little too long afterwards and getting a few pickoffs just to kind of like, you know, keep them a little. I mean, they're not ahead, but they're definitely they're not doing terribly. Manta style is up on the Phantom Lancer, so I've never actually seen that build on a Phantom Lancer. Oh no, Darkseer's really far up, and yeah, there is a blink in from that Bat Rider, and was that also a Force Staff? Yeah, he Force Staffed him in too, so he's right in the middle of his team, and that's a greatly a well placed torrent there, because that's what actually kept that Darkseer from running away surged. Wow. Blink Dagger Force Staff. That's something I just did not expect. But as we can see, look, all of the Dire are top and mid, and Phantom Lancer is sitting here pushing bottom. He's pushing bottom. And he's invis now. He's going to get away as long as the Dire doesn't dust. And while there is a dust, they probably realize that this isn't the real Phantom Lancer. Wow. This Warlock, if you remember earlier, did Chaotic Offering on the Phantom Lancer to stop the TP. He almost did it again, and he almost wasted it, but he canceled it, thankfully. He realized that the Phantom Lancer was already gone. Whew. That was a great cancel. Oh, man. But yeah, Phantom Lancer's just mid now, farming. He's doing such a great job of this split push. I mean, it's really what they need at the moment. They just need to keep their lanes pushed, keep the Phantom Lancer getting the farm, and that's what's going to really help them take over. I haven't looked this much in the game. I looked at it once earlier. But right now, as you can see, XP is largely in favor of the Dire, which makes sense because they have been winning these team fights. They do have a little bit more of control of the lanes. Since they are coming to them, they can get the experience better from them. But I mean, while the gold graph is also in favor of the Dire, as you can see, while there are giant dip downs, there are also dip ups in favor of the Radiant. I mean, right here, just from farming, it just seems like every time after a team fight, if Phantom Lancer is allowed to farm, that gold graph goes way in favor of the Radiant. It's just going up. So, I mean, considering there's such a large kill gap at the moment, there shouldn't be any there shouldn't be any big difference. But wow, that was a smoke coming out from the Dire, by the way, trying to pick off that Phantom Lancer to keep him from that split pushing. But they're not gonna find him at all. There's a whole team too, so they're just see, they're focusing so much on the Phantom Lancer because they're trying to keep him from getting the farm and from keeping their lanes pushed. But that's also distracting them, and it's keeping them from getting some great initiations. Because right now, both Tidehunter's ult and Chaotic Offering are up on the Warlock. And we're actually going to see Chaotic Offering come up as well as the Ravage. And an Anchor Smash and a little bit of right-clicking for Warlock is actually going to give a double kill in the favor of Warlock. So they, at least they did turn that into a good engage on Silencer and Darkseer, so it was good on the part of them. They didn't waste that smoke, thankfully. But yeah, now I'm wondering if we're gonna actually see mid get pushed down. They have to wait for their creeps at this point, because there's a lot to do. Oh wow, there is a oh my goodness, it looks like Bubbachuck went in to initiate, and he picked off the Rubik, but he got so low. Thankfully, the rest of his team was there to really help him out. Otherwise, there would have been something. 3-man's Ice Path coming out from Rubik. There's also a Dust catching the Phantom Lancer, and he's now dusted for a couple more seconds. He gets disrupted, and now the Tidehunter does Anchor Smash him, but he runs away. There's an ult coming out from the Rubik, and from the Darkseer, and it looks like it did pick off the Shadow Demon. So they successfully they were successful in combating that push. So it's a good part on them. Yeah, but it looks like this Finlandser is actually going to be is going to continually push. He's just going to keep his farm up. He's going to keep pushing. I mean, right now he has 3,500 gold. Like, what is he going to spend it on? I mean, I know there's plenty he can spend it on. It's just I want to see what he's going to do. You know, I personally, I'm used to seeing a heart. I'm actually surprised the heart didn't come up before that manta style, but yeah, the Rubik is severely underfarmed, and he's also underleveled as well. Let's just take a quick look at levels right now. Phantom Lance are leading by 3 levels at level 18, and then the Dire kind of has the advantage, and then both the Jakiro and the Rubik are very low level, both only being level 8. So they just, I don't think either of them have really been too involved in team fights, and if they have been, they've died quickly. So yeah, good job on the part of the Darkseer keeping that lane pushed. And here comes the Phantom Lancer again to keep the lane pushed even more. I almost expect to see some sort of to see Boots of Travel come out on him, just because if he's going to be pulling that kind of split pushing, like if he watches the map when he sees Dire like responding, and when they leave, he can just like TP back up if they don't take care of all these creeps. He can pardon me. He can even TP up with the rest of the creeps, with the next creep wave, and push it more. It'd be so annoying, but I mean, it's kind of the thing that the Radiant's kind of hoping for. It looks like that's like kind of their last ditch effort at the moment, because right now they're being beat in team fight. I mean, it's very clear that the Dire has this game in team fight. If Radiant wants to win, they're going to have to pull some sort of weird pushing strategy, and that's exactly what Phantom Lancer's trying to do. And it looks like he is going to pick up a heart, so he's tanking up, and I'm sure once he tanks up, he's just going to be all about farming, all about pushing all the time. So yeah, and it looks like the Silencer is going to be trying to form up an Orchid, probably to try and silence either Warlock or Tidehunter in a fight after the initial ultimate silence comes out from the oh my goodness, there's a lot of ultimates coming out, a lot of team fighting coming out. We do see Chaotic Offering dropped, and that does put out the Jakiro. And the Rubik is a picked off casualty as well, so 2 casualties in on the Radiant side. Oh my goodness. That was bad. I yawned in the middle of that, so I couldn't even say anything, but it was just, what was it? It was a Darkseer ultimate, an Ice Path coming off from the Jakiro, an ult coming off from the Jakiro, Tidehunter ravaged, there's a Chaotic Offering coming out from Warlock, and I think there might have been an attempt to vacuum from the Darkseer, and it just didn't end up working out. I mean, he made it out of there, thankfully. I think he searched himself out, but that fight was still won by the Dire. Yeah, it was just a quick disconnect from Kunkka, so they should be good. Yeah, Shadow Demon's really low, actually, and so is Kunkka, but it looks like he's just going to farm on. He now has his Daedalus, and he's actually going to self-cure ass, so that's going to make him a lot harder to kill, and it's also going to give him a lot of chances to crit, so. And also, something I didn't notice before, there is a Gem of True Sight. Yeah, that Gem of True Sight up on the Batrider is going to help them to really pick up that Phantom Lancer, so his job of split pushing just got a lot harder, and like I wanted, it's like Warlock heard me. He's now building a refresher, so if he gets a double ult, that's almost game for Radiant, so they've got to pick up soon, and this Phantom Lancer is going to have to start some sort of pushing Insanity now, which he's going to do, especially since he has his heart now. A lot harder to take down. I mean, he has 24 armor. He also has 2,400 health, so he's really hard to hit at this point. It's always so hard to click on the real Phantom Lancer when you're when he's got all these illusions around him. Like, you can click on the illusion, it's obviously like, you know, it's still Phantom Lancer, but it's like they die, and so you're like, oh no, he died, but he didn't die. Sorry, random aside. Yeah, the whole Dire, what I've noticed is that the Radiant is kind of spreading out, but Dire is kind of staying together. Also, if you notice, all of those illusions did all of that damage to Bubba and broke his boots too. So there's a lot of damage coming out just from the illusions. Imagine how much Phantom Lancer himself is just doing. And he's actually ticked down this bottom tower quite a lot from his split pushing. 187 health. Oh man. Yeah. It's just, game's just ramping up at this point. Everyone's just kind of farming. Everyone's trying to pick up the last of the items that they can before what I think is probably going to one of the last few engagements in the game will probably happen soon. And we've actually got 3 supports coming top. I don't know what just got brought to them. Oh, it was Silencer's Orchid of Malevolence. So that's up. And there's going to also be a I don't know why the headdress is there. Maybe they're building a pipe, but I mean, if they don't have one already, I don't know. There's no pipe yet, so I'm almost positive. No, there's actually it's gonna be a mech on the Darkseer. It looked like he was going for a pardon me, an Aghanim, but he didn't finish it. It looks like his team needs that mech more, and I can agree with that. Also, Phantom Lancer was here, and he pushed down bottom tower. Those illusions, they're deadly. So, yeah, now he's just, I mean, while his illusions were pushing on the tower, he was just farming. I mean, that's the power of Phantom Lancer right there. Oh man. Everyone's just biding their time at this point. It's a waiting game. Both teams want to make sure that they're as ready as they can be for the next engagement. Rubik finally hit level 9, by the way, on Null Field. It has been skilled, so yeah, which that magic resistance is going to be a lot better. And if you just see, look at all of the illusions he's spawning. And I believe that I'm not sure how that happened, but that's okay. Yeah. Phantom Lancer is going for some other big item. He's got 4,300 gold. So, it looks like a last word came out on that Bat Rider, but nothing came of it, so. Yeah, it's just getting to that point where we just need a fight. We need to see what's gonna happen. Oh, that's what happened. Shadow Demon was able to disrupt the Phantom Lancer illusions, and then they fight on his side, basically. And they give him farm. So. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a lot of farm for the Darkseer, though. I mean, he's almost at his mech now because of that little thing. But it looks like Dire is gathering on bottom. And they're just gonna... I mean, it's one of the last remaining tier 2s. And if they're gonna want to stop this split pushing Phantom Lancer, they are gonna have to start pushing on the towers as well. Because Raiden's actually ahead on towers. They have a tier 3 down. Like, that's kind of the moment where you realize it's time to go. Also, it looks like we're going to see a Roche attempt. And I don't know if Radiant can see it. They cannot. They can't see the Roche attempt at all. So, I don't know if they're just going to let them have it, or if they might even think that it's happening. They might not. Yeah, this Roche is definitely going to the Dire, and it's going to be put on the Kunkka. Oh, there's a Talisman. I think we're going to see a Butterfly up on the Phantom Lancer. Ugh. That's going to be nasty. And now there is a smoke coming out from the Dire. They want to turn that Roche into a fight. Especially, I'm sure they can see right now that the Phantom Lancer is top. So, they know that they can initiate on all of the supports on the Radiance team, and that they can get a fight in. Darkshare's way up. He really needs to be back there because he could be helping at the moment with what obviously is going to be an initiation on Coffee. And there is going to be a boat that comes out. A silence does help a little bit, but it looks like that... it looks like that they're going to go down anyways. Kunkka picks off that Jakiro, and that Tidebringer stops the Rubik long enough to let a last hit come out from the Kunkka. But at the same time, there is a farming Phantom Lancer up here. I don't want to take my eye off of this for the moment because there's a lot happening. I mean, there is a last word and a curse coming out on the Kunkka, and it does pop his Aegis. But there's a chaotic offering that gets dropped, and the Darkseer looks like he might go down as well. He surges and he tries to get away, but there's a blink out from the Batrider, and there's a Fatal Bonds on the Darkseer, but I don't know if anything else is Fatal Bonds. But this whole time, even though they're pushing down the tier 2, Phantom Lancer is pushing into the base. He's basing at the moment. And there is a TP out while Darkseer gets picked off finally. The TP in from the Tidehunter is a bad idea because he gets picked off by the by this Phantom Lancer. I mean, he's just got so much farm. He's got his Butterfly now. He's almost unstoppable at this point. He's pushing alone after his whole team gets killed by the Dire in a team fight, and now he's just gonna TP home. It's no big thing. And now they're dealing with back tower protection on the tier 2. Dire didn't even get the tier 2 from that fight. I mean, I go 20 minutes ago. Not even 20, like 15, almost 10 minutes ago. And I would have told you that I think that the Dire's going to win, hands down. They were playing a little more efficiently together. They're team fighting way better. They just have better ultimates for their team fights. But they can't keep up with this Phantom Lancer. They just cannot right now. I mean, he's already sitting on 4,100 gold again, and he's able to push all alone. I mean, his illusions can push all alone. They've got so much health. I mean, what, 2,700 health on those illusions? Ugh. That's a hard thing to deal with as a farmed Phantom Lancer. I think as long as Bubachuk's team does actually pick off Phantom Lancer, they can turn this into a win still, but I'm not sure. Tidehunter's got 5 seconds until his ult's back up. I'm not sure. Is the Golem up? He's not up for another 35 seconds. Ooh, Spirit Lance coming out from the Shadow Lancer, from the Phantom Lancer. And just look how much damage it took to take down that one illusion. Like, the illusions are so tanky right now. I mean, Phantom Lancer's a big problem. And Dire's gonna have to find some sort of way to stop him if they want to win this game. Yeah, I want to see where the Darkseer is, because he was going for a mech, and he has it, so now I'm sure he's switching right back on course for his Aghanim's. Rubik now level 10 finally, and it looks like he's trying to get like a Perseverance, probably just to get his mana regen back up, which would help. That little steal from Phantom Lancer. And like I was talking about earlier, there is a pair of boots, boots of travel, is what I mean, that come out on Sergeant Slippy, because he is going to be most likely trying to split push, continuing to split push, as boots of travel are just going to help him continue to just keep all of these lanes pushed into the Dire space. Oh, man. That's just rough. That's real rough for the Dire. I mean, that's kind of the problem with the farmed Phantom Lancer. I mean, look, his net worth is almost 10k. It's almost 10k above the Kunkka. I think right now it's only 8k, but it's getting there, and he can just decimate their ancients in like a second. And then now he can just send all of those illusions here. He can just send them all here. And push bottom again. They're just keeping Radiance is doing such a great job of keeping all of this pressure. Oh man, is Phantom Lancer actually going to get a pick off now? It looked like he was going to try and go in on that on the Bat Rider, but he doesn't end up doing it. Just all the damage coming out from them. Oh wow. Oh wow. They initiated on one of Phantom Lancer's illusions. They thought that was the real Phantom Lancer. They pulled out. No, the Tide didn't ult, but there was a Chaotic Offering dropped, and Bubba Chuck lassoed it, fireflied it, and whatchamacallit, and Sticky Napalmed it. They thought that was the real thing. And now I'm pretty sure that they're just getting so confused, even though they even have that oh wow. That's just a shame. That's a real shame. Because that Warlock ultimate paired with a Tidehunter ultimate is what would win the game for Dire right now. Is setting up a great team fight with that. And now they're going to have to wait almost a minute and a half for either of those to be up again. And now that just gives time for Phantom Lancer to push down the tower and get some racks. Oh wow, just look at all the mana burn, all of that health just dropping instantly on the Tidehunter. He gets his ult off before he dies, and also the refresher must have come up on the Warlock, because he does get 2 kills from that, but Sergeant Slippy is still pushing. He has dust on him, but he's still pushing with his illusions. He's still maintaining that control and gets about half of that barracks down. There's a blink out from Batrider, but he does get Spirit Lanced and taken down instantly. Just look at the damage coming out from this Phantom Lancer. The mana burn and the damage is just too much for them to handle. Oh. It's just, Phantom Lancer is just such a good carry right now. It's almost impossible to take him down. Look, 3 buybacks, so 2 on the side of the Dire coming out. They want to try and stop this. This is the last chance they're going to have to stop this Phantom Lancer from winning this game. Drunken Probe is almost 20 kills behind, but it doesn't even matter because the Phantom Lancer is so farmed and is just destroying the Dire team. Look at that. He's just able to take out the Shadow Demon in, I think, 3 or 4 hits. He's barely hurt. He hasn't even been hurt at all. And now he's just because he's here, he's just going to take out the rest of the middle barracks. Oh, see, that's the scary thing about a farmed Phantom Lancer is just if he gets that Diffusal Blade, if he gets a heart, I mean, it's just hard to, you can almost not stop him, especially once he gets that butterfly. It's hard to stop. And Sergeant Slippy is right. What a game! Like I said, 25 minutes ago, I would have told you the Dire was going to win this hands down, but thanks to some careful positioning on the part of the Phantom Lancer, and I mean, while his team was dying, they were keeping their carry alive, which is what does help what finally helped the Radiant win the game. Because remember, guys, it's not who has the most kills, because obviously if it was that, the Dire would have won hands down because they're so far ahead. But instead, it's the Phantom Lancer pushing his team to victory, using those split pushes, and just making this such a great game. I mean, I'm just almost lost for words watching that, because I just did not expect to see that Phantom Lancer push that hard. So, great job from both teams. This was a win for the Drunken Probe for the Reddit Dota 2 League. I'm IMABEAR, and hopefully I will see you next time for my next cast.